Good morning.
GM. Oh, God, it keeps faking me out. What's going on?
Chilling.
Yeah, me too, sort of. My blood pressure is going through the roof. Guys, just a quick heads up. They decided to do fire alarm testing in my building right at 9:30. That was great of them. They had like a full 9-hour window to do it, and it just started right now. So there's going to be a couple points in time through the show where I might just throw it out to FMC. Maybe I'll just get a topic that we know gets them fired up and let them go for a rant. And yeah, I'll just say squiggles, mute my mic, and let them go. Look at this. Look at you, DJs. We set a bunch of all-time highs yesterday on the show. That was very exciting. We appreciate everyone's support a lot. It really does mean a lot to us to see 80-something people in here at one point, and yeah, it was a great time.
Yes.
How you feeling today, free market?
Feel good.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day in NFT land. $120 million siphoned off into the ether by these auctions. So I'm fabulous, R2.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way. No, hey, you're right. Yesterday, Pixelmon was, I guess, the talk of the town, and here we are, and they have a cool $72 million in their bank account now, and
which is leaving the NFT space and never coming back, people. Sayonara.
Well, I hope that they're going to employ some people, make the game that they say they're going to do. Feels like we're starting to get into the ICO round, I guess, where it's just these projects that don't exist, but they promise that they're going to exist if you give them lots of money. And here we are. So yeah, Pixelmon. A lot of people got wrecked on that yesterday.
Zug, baby.
Zug's still doing good.
I got my level 204 coming back from the Leviathan today. He came back yesterday. I'm sorry, he's coming back tomorrow morning, but he came back yesterday from the Lava Titan. He brought back 2 regular rewards. This guy's a 204. He's a failed orc god. And maybe it's because I abuse him because of that. But my failed shithead of an orc god orc brought back 2 regular rewards from the Lava Titan yesterday. 24 goddamn bone shards. 4 days of work. Dustin, do you feel me? Jesus.
You win some, you lose some. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how orcs works well enough to understand what you just said
any
entirely,
of the words
but it doesn't sound good.
Yeah,
what's that?
No. Well, no, when you raid, it's a probability roll, right? You get 3, yeah. There's 3 possible outcomes. The worst is the regular outcome. And I got 2. I got 2 regular outcomes in a row, and my orc is level 204, so he should have a bit of an advantage. It's not crazy, though. I mean, so I decided to just set. Now I have so close to enough bone shards for another ogre that I sent this guy to the Leviathan for 2 days. I figured I can mint another ogre, and then I'll go back to the Titan, the Lava Titan, but he frustrated me. We agree.
Just put him on the market, sell him.
Yes.
Or threaten to sell him, No. You've given him a good home, and this is how he's repaying you.
No, I know. He's going to make it up to me by getting me 3 lava rocks. I know it. He just needed a break. He had to go battle the Leviathan real quick. But yes, we agree with you, Moe Zane. The intro is a vibe. The intro gets me going every day. I love that intro music.
Off camera, I actually break some stuff because I'm getting so hyped up. And now it just levels me out a little bit. I got a new mug here today. A message for people in the NFT space. There we go.
Don T. Bea. Oh, don't be
Yeah, you got it.
Cuntosaurus. There we go.
There you go. That one's for Dark.
Nice. See you next Tuesday.
GM, look at this. You guys, apparently we're getting raided by Cat Bricks or something.
Sure. Come on in, Cat Bricks. Bring everyone from the Discord over. We want it. We can tell you about the spaces we tried to do to bring us into prominence.
Yeah.
We're very excited.
Well, I mean, that
yes, Don T. Baya. That's what I say. Thank you, Question Farce. The spacing on those letters was weird. It wasn't just
it wasn't. Is the kerning? Poor kerning. It was a nice mug. Okay, I'm gonna turn this into an NFT series.
No one has the cash to pull off what I just did.
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. Cool.
Cash.
Yes. Well, if you're from Caprix, welcome. I appreciate you showing up. I promise you we're not going to be talking about Caprix all show. But you know, it's good to have you here. I appreciate you showing up. Look at it. Yeah, you guys are going.
Tether, Moe Zane. The answer is Tether. USDT. Tether? He said, what's the safest play in the current market?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that definitely seems...
Actually, Tether's probably the wrong answer. USDC. I hear things about Tether.
Tether's always gone through some FUD. I don't know how substantiated it is. People say it's good. People say it's bad. USDC, I think, is probably your safer bet there.
Safe plays is not what the NFT market is here for. But we are here.
Well, if you want to check Tether, I mean, we are up a whopping 0.1% on the day.
Nice.
But if you compare that to any other cryptocurrency, you're probably down about 15%. So,
Indeed.
Yeah, Nick made an announcement saying he's getting us to 0.5 ETH or $2,500. Yeah, I mean, I hope that it goes on a run for you guys. I have some myself, but just be cautious about setting price targets like that. You know, there's a project to be rebuilt here, so baby steps. All right, let's actually just do the show. You want to do the drum roll thing? GM, everybody, and welcome to the February 8th Tuesday edition of the AM show, hosted live on YouTube and Twitch. I want to thank everybody for showing up here today. As I said in the pre-show, if you missed it, I am having some fire alarm testing going on in my building right now. So we're going to roll with the punches. And, if anything gets out of control, I'm just going to mute it. I'm going to say the word squiggles to FMC and let him go on for as long as he needs to get that out of his system and to get that sound, if you just heard it, out of the way too. So I apologize for that. This is definitely not the norm. I am your host, R2Dgen, joined with me as always by FMC.
Hey now.
GM. How was your day yesterday? Monday started off the week, right? We had a lot of people tune into the show. It was a lot of fun. It was a really good show. Moon Monday for Star Wolves. That was a lot of fun too. Charlie killed it with the reveal going down there, and shout out to Cass for finally getting his Genesis Wolf. How was your Monday?
Oh, my Monday was fabulous. I started it off by minting my Coolpet egg, which is sitting there waiting to be hatched. The public sale would be today, and then the game would start the day after.
Thursday, yeah.
Pardon me. I think milk yield starts tomorrow. No.
I think it all goes live on Thursday, if I'm being honest with you.
Yep. Live on Thursday. So that's going to be very exciting. I want everybody here to put aside an hour, because at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we're going to be doing an AlphaMint Spaces on P2E. We're going to talk about Ether Orcs. We're going to talk about Coolpets. We're going to talk about Raid Party. And being one of the trendiest areas in the market right now, I think that is going to be very educational. So everyone should tune in for that. But yes,
we started to see some of the profile pictures blow off a little bit. The Steam is coming out of their sales, and there's some big P2E games going down, as you mentioned. Coolpets and Raid Party starting. Orcs is still going strong, and actually a project that we mentioned a while ago. I thought. Maybe we were trying to get in touch with, but didn't end up doing it. Space Games going down today too?
Are they? Yes. I didn't know.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I just saw it pop up. Yeah.
I unfortunately left that Discord due to the number of pings.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I mean, that's a thing too. Sometimes a bit of a red flag. Too much noise created can be a difficulty. But I mean, P2E is ripe for I want to say comeback, but some of the games that have been producing over that period of time have actually still just continued to do really well. Orcs has just been on an incredible trajectory. We see Wolf Game kind of pop in and out of favor. Eternal Elves was probably the most recent one that's had quite a bit of success, kind of after the whole Hunger Brains dilemma that I think got resolved somewhat successfully. I guess in terms of Hunger Brains, they're not pursuing that anymore, are they? They just scrapped it and moving on with their lives?
No, they are building it for L2. They've just put together their dev team. They made an announcement in the Discord, and this game is going to be moved to L2. And everyone who participated in the first one will be airdropped their L2 asset. I think that's the only thing where it's like, I don't know if these guys can do, anything right. Like now they're going to put the assets on Polygon. I mean, all right, I guess if it's a cool playable game, okay, but at the very least, one thing we do is try to keep the assets on L1 and have the gameplay be on L2. But quite frankly, you need the expertise of a team like Orcs to pull that off, and I don't know if they're available. So, the Citadel, another great game. Last year was a false P2E trend. It was very short. We knew P2E was going to be big. Orcs came out.
Besides Orcs, it was pretty much just Risk Protocol, though. I mean,
pretty much risk
you
protocol.
Can steal this NFT. This person, you get this much. You got to pay a tax on this. It was just gamified DeFi, maybe.
And it's true. And earlier in the year, Axie Infinity was one of the largest stories, with that coin being one of the best gainers ever, and all that good stuff. So last year not well. Last year it feels like it set the table for what's about to come now, because now we have some pretty legitimate properties, but all debuting. Of course, we have so many I mean, we just minted something called 2112 yesterday. If you saw how these are not small operations. Like, there's a lot going into this crypto gaming area now, and even with Ether Orcs, who deliver on a regular basis. So everyone keeps asking me, like, as evidenced by Lives of Asuna, which we'll get into a bit later, the anime waifu meta is done. All right, that was done a week ago. I don't know how anybody, whatever. But
they're so pretty.
But now we're going into, everyone keeps asking me, what's the next meta? Well, I think the next meta is two things. An obvious one, which is quality art. Okay, I don't think anyone's putting up with any more FUBAR shit going into the rest of this year. We have world-class artists putting out collections coming up. Whether we're talking about Butrix over at Starcatchers, whether we're talking about Takashi now putting out multiple collections, and all these other big artists you see now moving into the game. So quality, haute art, for lack of a better term. And then on top of that, you have P2E gaming, right? And you're seeing real money games now showing up, like Raid Party, which is going to debut later this week. And again, Orcs, which keeps delivering. So I think these are your two new metas coming into it. Every few weeks, we get people talking about the PFP bubble. Oh, PFPs are in a bubble. Oh, PFPs. I think it's the most ridiculous argument there is. So you're telling me, there's 1 million uniques out there trading NFTs right now. So the other 6,999,000,000 people don't need PFPs either. We're the only ones. We're the only use case. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and as though people don't hold multiples of them too. It's not like a one-to-one. You're only legally allowed to own one profile picture, so you can save the rest for other people, right? Yeah.
Oh my God, I made an analogy yesterday that being bearish are saying PFPs are in a bubble in 2022 AD is like saying clothes are in a bubble in 2022 BC.
Yeah, a hot take, I guess. Not really.
There you go.
No, I mean, it's a great point, right? Like, this
labored,
is the
but
new paradigm we live in. Let's get into the crypto market, then we'll touch on some news, and then we'll just start flying into some projects that we got on the go here. For the time being, though, crypto doing pretty well. Yesterday had a pretty good run. Bitcoin actually crossed over 45,000 for a brief period of time before pulling back. It's kind of flirting with 44,000 right now. ETH did break 3,200 a little bit, pretty bullish there. Cooled off a little bit, as we said on the show yesterday. Not completely out of the woods yet. Short term, we're looking pretty bullish. The long term trend, as you said, is still slightly bearish. We still have some work to do, and don't we're not immune to any kind of pullbacks right now. That's for sure.
No, in fact, I think we should be pulling back right now. We hit resistance yesterday, 3,200. We've already pulled back. I mean, I don't watch Bitcoin. It's pointless at this point, but I'm talking about Ethereum, right? We hit 3,200 yesterday.
I mean, they pretty much go hand in hand at this point, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I actually think I've had $100,000 price target on Ethereum for a while, but I saw ARK's latest analyst projections yesterday, and they're looking at 150K on Ethereum. And you know what? I like that. I'm changing my price target to it. I almost consider
Cathie Wood's ARK's at 150,000 on Ethereum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and they actually had some fancy little charts to back it up too. But I don't want to be outdone by Cathie Wood, so I'm sitting here contemplating a higher price target. I'll let you guys know tomorrow. But yeah, everything's looking fabulous here. I expect us to pull back to 2,800, which is what you want. If you're bullish, you want to see us go test the previous resistance, turn it into support, get up off the mat. Everything's looking great. Hoping for a little bit of a pullback here. Don't be scared when it comes. I mean, if we keep going up, it actually sets up a more precarious chart. Like if we ran to 3,800, we'd fall back to 3K, and that's going to feel really bad compared to 32 to 28. So.
Yeah. I mean, right now on the short term, if you look at like the 14-day chart, we're actually riding a pretty nice little channel, just kind of, going up, and it's going to bounce in between there, and at some point it'll reset. But yeah, here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about Polygon, not a ton, but having a great week. It was up big yesterday on the news that came out from Sequoia Capital. Polygon raises $450 million in funding round led by Sequoia Capital India. This is literally just the same title with 40 more major investors. $450 million, a lot of money to do some damage with. Polygon, love it or hate it, might be a necessary evil as we start to move, as we mentioned, P2E trends, and gas really kind of chewing up a lot of the a lot of your funds just in order to play it. Polygon is so far been proven to be a pretty solid, stable solution. Orcs migrated over to Polygon, and I think the initial reaction was like, God, here we go. But I think you as an avid Orc player are now kind of giving the thumbs up of approval, if I not to put words in your mouth. Is that right?
Yes. Love the Polygon.
I mean, the one problem with Polygon is when it's cheap, it makes it cheap to have scams, and the scams are not going to go anywhere. I mean, I still shudder every time I see a Polygon NFT that I didn't purchase, and actually I've never purchased any in my wallet that got airdropped to me. And sometimes they're legitimate. You get the little lemon friends ones there, they look nice, but you almost have to do a lot of research on them to make sure that you're not clicking on something that you shouldn't be when it comes to Polygon. But $450 million, a lot of money, a lot of capital to do some stuff with. We saw 100 Thieves, which is an esports brand, airdrop 300,000 Polygon NFTs last month. Sports Illustrated is doing some stuff on there, and it seems to kind of be waking up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think people who are waiting for ETH2 to lower L1 gas fees are missing the point here. Okay.
Even Vitalik will say that like ETH 2.0, proof of stake is not the entire solution.
Yeah, no, and don't worry, 2.0 cut L1 gas fees in half, but guess what? Ethereum's going to 100K. That's not going to mean a lot when it cuts gas fees in half. You got to understand, L1 is going to be a global financial transacting layer, and somewhere for very, very high-end there's going to be a point where everything left on L1 is a high-end collectible because is not going to be feasible to launch anything small on there anymore. And this is why L2 is important. You're now seeing as many, I wouldn't say as many, that's not fair, but you're seeing a very large corporate presence, a very large mainstream presence leverage Polygon to put out their NFTs because they're not going to make their public pay gas fees. It's not something that works, right? So I think eventually these will far outshadow the scams. And while the downside of Polygon will always be the ease in which a scammer can launch something and unfortunately trick someone who's naive or unsophisticated, this is how Ethereum can scale globally. So.
Well, and this exists for any L1 too, right? Like it's not just a problem that's exclusive to Ethereum. I mean, we talk about L2s on, well, we don't talk about it, but they talk about L2s on Bitcoin all the time. You know, these other chains like Solana will likely have to have one too as they start to scale up and see more usage. It's not a complete cut and dry. You have to kind of scale back some of the security and the decentralization for an L2 to make it cheaper. And, you know, if you're in crypto, if you've been in Ethereum for a long time, you kind of just get numb to paying the gas fees. But if you're somebody that's new to the space and you're jumping in there and all of a sudden you're, you know, about to click send on something and it's quoting you $90 for transactional fees, like it's a tough pill to swallow. There's a reason why people look at that and go, yeah, fucking right, no thanks, right?
Exactly. And this is not something that, you know, large corporate entities can put on their customers if NFTs are going to be successful initially. So big things coming for Matic. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Matic was the best performing crypto all year of the established. We're not talking about the random, you know, shit coins like SHIB. We're talking of those top coins. Your best performer for the year was Matic. It was up something insane.
2021?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm excluding SHIB and the smaller shit coins that went crazy. I'm talking about like if you were already in the top 100 in market cap type of thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to like really quickly look at that. Like, let's look at the last year. I think maybe Solana holds that, if I'm being honest with you. But I mean, incredible returns on Matic nonetheless. Yeah. Solana was stupid. Solana was like 1,000x or something.
I thought it was $3 to 200.
Was it?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was below $1. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, regardless, if you were holding Matic a year ago, you've done very, very well.
Speaking of future L2s.
Yeah, I mean, could be. Yeah, you know,
I love how you're like, oh, Solana's gonna need L2s. No, my friend.
Solana is the L2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I bite my tongue. On January 1st, it was about $1.80. So I'm wrong with that. I thought it was below $1. Anyways, let's move on. One final piece of Polygon news that we don't need to talk about, but I made me laugh, and shout out to my BitClout homies that are watching right now. DeFi project AAVE launches decentralized social media platform on Polygon. The developers behind AAVE have created Lens Protocol, an open source Web3 smart contracts based social graph based on dynamic NFTs. Cool. I don't know. BitClout,
decentralized social.
Hey, I actually think decentralized social is important. I just don't think that the first iteration where a lot of us came from was probably it. But
I actually think we are in the decentralized social as we speak. It's in the room with us right now. NFTs, people. These are the new social networks. I've said it many times. NFTs are the new social networks.
Well, there's
World Wide Web 3 is where we're all going to congregate and chat.
Well, I mean, there's also a pretty nifty little project on the horizon that's integrating NFTs and all of that into a social platform as well, if I recall correctly.
Yes, quite. We love.
Starts with an M and ends with an Edalink.
Yes. In fact, the Coolmans Universe chat room over there is now the largest community on Metalink. So shout out to Coolmans Universe.
Nice?
They had a little party there the other night, and they now have the most members on Metalink of all the collections they have there.
That
cool.
fan base, we're going to talk about Coolmans a little bit later on in the show, just because it's been a wild ride. But that fan base, that that community is actually rabid, and they host a lot of spaces, and they've got a lot of really cool stuff going on.
Yeah, shout out to Sheck, who runs those all the time. She is one of the unofficial devs for all the good projects. Now they got their unofficial devs, and Coolmans be holding spaces almost every day, just like Lemon. So
love both those projects. Today, I believe, or tomorrow marks the 1 year. No, it's today. 1 year since Tesla bought Bitcoin. They bought $1.5 billion of it. The company has been doing very well, despite all of the FUD from them buying crypto on their balance sheets. It has not affected them. Now, truth be told, $1.5 billion to Tesla is a drop in the bucket. This isn't going to move them one way or another. It's certainly not going to peg their stock price to the volatility of Bitcoin or anything. But if you go back a year from today and remember the narratives that were going on, this was the most reckless thing that anybody's ever done. I can't believe Elon would put his shareholders in that kind of peril. And what are they even doing with Bitcoin? And then all of the FUD about the environmental issues and, whatever.
I actually agree with that take. I am not in favor of public companies using their cash to buy speculative assets like Bitcoin. That is just insane. But
well, no, and that's fine, but it was interesting. Like, I trust your opinion a lot more than just the fucking the Twitter squawkers on just going to town looking for anything to stir shit up over, right? But like, I even remember on watching CNBC while this was going down, because I was like, I want to hear what mainstream media is saying about this, and they're like, okay, so they're going to be accepting Bitcoin to buy Teslas, so maybe they're buying this Bitcoin to kind of act as like a change float, so that when somebody buys a Tesla, they have some to give back to them to kind of like make change for it. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how is it like just such uninformed, uneducated opinions? Or maybe they're just saying random shit for engagement. Got me going. So there you go.
Hey now.
Last but not least, FTX is going to be giving away Bitcoin during the Super Bowl, but there's a catch. It's not really gamified. They're just they're starting at the Super Bowl starting at 8 p.m. They have 8 Bitcoin that they're giving away to 4 people that have already won the right to be in this contest. And as the Super Bowl goes later, however long it takes for the commercial to air, they're going to be increasing the amount of Bitcoin they're giving away. So if the commercial goes live at 9:30 p.m., then it will be 9.5 Bitcoin being split up between 4 people. But is that a lot for them? No, not really. Is this a big deal? Yeah, kind of. But again, I think it's just all roads are leading back to crypto and NFTs being incredibly at the forefront of Super Bowl 56.
I'll tell you what I did last night. I bought SuperBowlBitcoinWinners.com, and I had Drop Acid write up a quick contract so that they could really easily switch that Bitcoin right into ETH. It's like a little DEX that we set up. So the moment I just want to let if you are one of these winners, you can switch your Bitcoin into ETH very easily. Bitcoin, SuperBowlBitcoinWinners.com.
That's not actually a site.
No. This was a bit. Don't go there if that site exists.
I was like, okay, let's Super Bowl BitcoinWinners.com. No, your site's down. It's been
The point here is Bitcoin should be changed into Ethereum. That's its sole purpose.
I got the bit. I get it.
Okay.
I know.
I was clarifying.
Switch your Bitcoin.
For the audience.
Mm-hmm. You can rest assured, free market. I actually own 0.00 Bitcoin now.
I know you're a smart person. I don't even doubt that.
That's the nicest thing you've said to me all morning. Yeah, perfect. Someone's saying when Star Wolves on Metalink. No idea. Never heard of Star Wolves before.
Or meddling.
Just carrying on, Larva Labs making some splashes again, forcing Opensea to remove V1 Punks collection because of a DMCA takedown issued it. There's a bit of like, conflicting reports about what's going on here. I guess the long and short of it was that there was original V1 Punks that they had kind of messed around with. The contract is pretty much dead, and it's just been sitting there. I'm under the impression that somebody took them and wrapped them and then redeployed a working contract back onto OpenSea to try and capitalize on this. And Larva Labs said, no. Now, there's some controversy about, Larva Labs always, ruins the fun, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if you've had much time to look into this, but the stark contrast between Yuga Labs and Larva Labs has been pretty incredible, with Yuga Labs just letting people have fun with the ape derivatives and just go to town on it. And I really do think that it's not the entire story behind why their floor price is doing so well, but I do think that they have done a great job of letting their brand stay relevant and at the height of NFTs.
I mean, this entire article just says to me, "Buy Begone Punks." I read this, I look at this, and I think, "Buy Begone Punks." And the reason is there's obviously a gigantic anti-punk sentiment out there. And just like some blind moron, they keep sticking their dick in the air trying to find, wait, where can I find this anti-punk sentiment? Begone Punks are the anti-punk. This is what they are looking for. They are very confused right now, but eventually all will make sense, okay? V1s, funks, fast food, but this is all junk. This is all garbage.
Yeah, they're just flipping the way that they're looking around, or just changing the colors of them, or like, yeah, it's half-assed for sure.
They are all yearning for Begone Punks, and they don't know it yet. It's the biggest blind spot in all of markets. It is coming to a head soon. Anyone not buying Begone Punks here needs their head checked. This is a very viable meta that's going to come to fruition soon. But we'll just laugh here on the show when it happens.
Guys, if you look at these and you are like kind of skeptical about them, I highly actually just recommend you go to their OpenSea page and just start going down the rabbit hole, because there is just like an incredible amount of diversity in this project. The glitchiness, there's some animated ones, the Hype AF ones, and they're just so vibrant. And I actually love whenever I see somebody rock one of these as their profile picture. It was literally the first NFT that I bought on Free Market's recommendation. And yeah, I mean, that you're 100% right that like everybody wants to buy the anti-punk. CryptoPunks are these like almost this old NFT institution, this big old money that's not really doing anything fun or innovative. They just kind of right now, and people kind of want to stick it to them by doing these V1s or the funks, like you said. But yeah, Begans are, I think Begans are the answer. And slowly but surely, you see some pretty big people start to pick these up and accumulate them, and they don't even just sweep the floor. Like they start to pick up some of the higher value ones. Absolutely.
The whales in this collection have hundreds, and not because they're looking to dump on any public. It's because they've been collecting them for the better part of a year now, because they love them. Because every time you log on to that stupid page and scroll for 3 minutes, you go, "Oh, fuck, I've never seen that one. That one looks good. I want that one." You just can't help it. Some art is derivative, pointless, and keeps us stuck in the place that we are. Other art is derivative, yet evolutionary, and brings an entire movement forward into something greater than it was before. That is what Princess Camel has created with Bastard Gone Punks. That would be Burke. You could find him on Twitter. He is the Van Gogh of PFPs. He is an unrecognized genius. Biggest blind spot in markets. Matter of time. Next subject.
Or just mic drop. Shout out to Burke. This beauty ape got sold for 250 ETH yesterday. Biggest deal? Maybe not. But again, I just wanted to highlight the fact that these things are moving. It did briefly cross, 110 ETH floor late last week?
120. We hit, remember I said the top in apes would be 120. Well, we hit 120 and we pulled back.
So. Before the Super Bowl, you said, too. Not just like indefinitely, they'll eventually hit
No.
120.
Pre-Super Bowl.
I mean, this has just been an incredible run. A lot of signs are pointing to these being highlighted Super Bowl. Again, we keep going back to that because I do think it's going to be a really, really big moment for NFTs. And we are quickly approaching that, just, I think, 5 days away, 6 days away, whatever it is. But I mean, keep an eye out. Bored apes are not something that you can easily just get into and buy one. I mean, you're going to be looking at 100 ETH purchase if you want to play that game. But I do think that those whale watching and Bored Ape Yacht sales trackers are going to be very, very fun to watch this weekend, particularly on Sunday.
Yep, this is, I think. If you don't follow the Ape bot on Twitter, the Bored Ape sales bot, I think it'll be really fun for you to put it on notifications Saturday evening and wait to see what happens the next day.
I just see a 0.01 WETH offer sale. That's just got to be a private transfer.
Yeah, probably.
I was just like, every time, you know what? I hate it and I love it at the same time. You scroll through these and you just like, you see one of those 10 ETH and somebody just goes, "Oh, my apes are gone." Like, there's a 70.
A lot of these things are so ugly. I mean, there's some aesthetic ones, but Jesus.
You really flip-flop on your appreciation.
Well, I because a lot of the ones you see in public are the aesthetic ones. The people with the ugly ones ain't out there bragging about it. They're just happy they have their 300K.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this one doesn't strike me as a $300,000 profile picture, but
it is to somebody, my friend.
No, it's the membership club, right? You get in there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get on that yacht with Steph Curry, I guess.
I do. We could talk basketball.
You want to talk basketball?
No, I'm saying me and Steph on the yacht. We would talk basketball.
Oh well, yeah, but
That's
you're a Knicks fan. Nobody wants to talk basketball with you.
What? The Knicks are the most upstanding basketball organization out there. They'd have 5 championships if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. Okay, Michael Jordan. I don't even want to. Patrick Ewing. He was destined to be the greatest of all time. See the fire alarm.
No, get the fuck out of here.
What are you? Are you kidding me? When they were coming out of college, when they were coming out of college, Patrick Ewing was billed as the next best player of all time. No question. Now, certainly injuries plagued his career.
Yeah, so was Allen Houston.
True. There's a lot of those guys. I'm not saying that but no, isn't that always interesting? How there's a guy coming out of college. They always think he's going to be the next big thing. And then there's some 37th pick, Michael. I don't remember what Jordan went at or whatever, but there's always these. Yeah, there's always these. He went second, you said?
Yeah, it was behind oh god, what was that guy's name? Sam. I don't remember. Fuck, it's escaping me. He didn't do a ton. No, I get it for sure. Allen Houston, there we go. Next topic. Alien Frens is finally dropped below a 2 ETH floor. This was an incredible run.
I love how this became news. I told you about this last night. You're like, we're making this news.
Well, we haven't actually talked about them. No. Okay, so I'm not saying finally as though we predicted it or anything like that, but I mean, this project had such an incredible run, and it is actually holding its own in the grand scheme of things, right? A lot of times you get these projects that, get the Gary V treatment, they run up to 4 ETH and, everybody scrambles frantically to cash out their profits or whatever. We've seen some depression in floors lately. I guess my point really with this was that I haven't checked in on this project lately. I haven't ever owned any of them, so it's kind of always been in the back of my mind. I mean, it sat firmly within Lemon Frens and Coolmans Universe, which I know we both love. I know you had Alien Frens as well, but I just don't check in on it. And to be honest with you, when you showed it to me, I was actually surprised that it was still that high, And I think it's, kudos to them, kudos to that community for maintaining that, because it's a very difficult thing to do, especially at the fact that this minted at 0.02. And, I'm not saying this is a buy. I'm certainly not loading up on them at 1.9 ETH. I will probably never own an Alien Friend, but I gotta say that all signs are pointing to this potentially being a mainstay.
Definitely a mainstay. And there's 6,600 uniques. This is a legitimate collection that is here for the long haul. Period.
Sambo,
no way to mince words here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to look at what they have coming up. I mean, they've had some, I guess, a merch was supposed to drop on January 30th. I don't know that actually has happened, but eventually there's going to be a Frens token. I don't know, more roadmap to be released.
Yeah, I'm very bearish on the roadmap. I mean, I don't
know what this means. Why token? I mean, communities often get up in arms. They want a token for some reason. It's supposed to drive this fantasy ecosystem that they have.
I mean, it's not leaning into what made Alien Friends great. Okay, what made Alien Friends 100%. Great was capturing that moment they were in and leveraging the community. They're not holding as many spaces as Coolmans and Little Lemon Friends. And both Coolmans and Little Lemon Friends have less uniques and a lower floor. All right. That's going to flip, period. It is community. It's such a cliche. Nobody wants to hear it. Community, wishy-washy, woo-woo bullshit. We get that. But you got to understand what a community is. It's thousands of people advertising your project every day. Like, that's the basic thing here. If we want to talk about the max min effect of what a community is, it's thousands and thousands of people advertising your bag every day. All right. And I love Alien Friends. I love Mason. I love Hape. I love the project. But if I compare it to Coolmans and Little Lemon Friends, it seems like they're leaning more into their roadmap versus leaning into their community.
Yeah, I think that you encapsulated it perfectly when you say it's not leaning into, or it's not playing into what makes Alien Friends great. And you know what project hasn't had a token and is still doing really well? The Bored Ape Yacht Club. Like, I get that they have one coming out, and they've kind of reached the pinnacle where they can develop an ecosystem within Mutant Apes, Bored Ape Kennel Club, and then the actual BAYC project, and use these tokens to do stuff. But Alien Friends just doesn't need that right now, right? You got to foster that community. You got to grow to a point where this token should have some kind of intrinsic value because your community is so strong and everything is going so well that you need it, right? Like I don't particularly get that facet of it. I don't know what they intend to do with a token here. Maybe this roadmap release that they have will tell more. But this is not one that I'm getting. I don't know.
And I do want to continue to separate the art and the community, which I both really love in Alien. But I'm still holding one of my Alien Friends. I love them. All right. But I don't think that when I saw them announce mutants and everyone get excited, I really raised an eyebrow. Right. This is a very large collection to begin with. Okay. In some sense, they were lucky to be where they were. This is the exact case I wouldn't want to dilute my supply. And we talk about the pros and cons of these type of moves all the time. And it's not like 100%. Like, there are times we could see with Coolpets, we could see with Bored Apes, that increasing your supply is a value add. I actually think apes are higher because mutants exist. Okay. So there are cases where this makes sense. I think this was way too soon for Alien Friends. And I worry about depending on their roadmap going forward in relation to whether it's a buy here. Is this project going to be around for a very long time? Yes. Do I like it? Yes. I'm not sure I agree with the current moves. I could be wrong. It could be exactly what they need. Who knows where the market will be? We'll see where the market is when they start launching all this stuff. So much of it is market dependent and how receptive people are and all that type of stuff. So.
Well, it is a great point too. With you talk about diluting the project and whatnot. Bored Apes released the Kennel Club and then subsequently Mutant Apes due to an overwhelming desire for people that were priced out of the collection to be a part of that community. right? And Alien Friends isn't on that. You know, look at how long it took Coolcats to actually come out with Coolpets. They could have done this at any point in the last year, really. But they waited until Coolcats became such a desirable community that so many people were priced out of, that they wanted to release another round that's carefully thought out and develops their entire brand, their entire lore, their entire community. And, you know, they do the thing where all 10,000 Coolcats holders get a Coolpet, and then, you know, they allow 10,000 other people into their ecosystem as well. And it's not just this mad dash of like, let's grow. Make that community that you have as strong as possible. And then once people really can't, like once newcomers really can't get into it, then you start letting more people in, right? That's my take on it.
Mutant Friends, the way it was timed, felt like they were trying to save the floor, right? Like we had just had that frothy Saturday. Everything was cooling off in a big way from its, you know, blow off top. And boom, they released Mutants and it caused a small bounce, right? I mean, it's just there. I think that you can, with Alien Friends, there is so much good there. And there are so many people, 6,600 at least, that are in love with this project.
An incredible holder count for a project.
Incredible. One of the highest in the game, right? So I think there's a lot there. All of this said, I don't think these moves are going to doom them. I think at the bottom line here is I think they're going to be around for a very long time. I just think they could have done a lot better saving these type of things for much farther down the road, like the way that Coolcats and Apes have done. You know, if Alien Friends were 40 ETH, it would make sense. People would want them. It's hard to get in.
Yes.
You need some sort of companion collection, right?
I mean, even 8 ETH, 10 ETH is enough to like really
price
out a large majority.
Yep.
I can't spend enough liquidity to buy a Coolcat right now. You know, like it just exists.
I know I'm going to FOMO into one here in the next week, and it's bothering me.
You've been talking about it.
Yeah, I know. It's getting to that fucking point, and what?
You asked me to talk you out of it, and
I did.
I think I'm ready to just say, just pull the trigger, man. You're welcome.
We like the cats. We love the cats. We do.
No, the cats are great. Actually, let's get into Coolcats because the Coolpets finally kind of went down yesterday. Floor was as low as about 1.6 yesterday. I was kind of debating on whether or not to pull the trigger on that, but that was very, very short-lived. Sitting at 2.4 floor right now and doing all right. The game is going to start on Thursday. The deployment of Milk is going to start on Thursday. Again, Coolcat's waiting a long time to deploy their own token, and I think it's going to be very valuable because of that. And here we are sitting. You minted one. I think you're intending on playing the game. I know you said you wanted to get a water pet. Any indication that you're going to pick up more? What's your play now here? You're just waiting for Thursday to see how it all goes down?
I've been contemplating whether to pick up more because if I picked up another egg, I would leave it unhatched. That was going to be my strategy: one unhatched and one that I would turn into a water pet. I think that we had that brief dip down to 1.5 yesterday, and it was a weird day in markets. I think Pixelmon scared a lot of people. A lot of people convinced now, especially with the Asuna reveal and Pixelmon going down yesterday and Raid Party not maintaining its mint price. A lot of people think that the air has been let out of the market in a macro sense, that, oh no, you know, we're out of ammo, we're out of whatever. I think that's one reason besides the delays that Coolpets is even this low that it is right now. I think people are way underestimating Milk. There was a great Medium article showing what you're going to use Milk for initially, how much milk will basically be out there in the supply, and what that means for the supply-demand balance and dynamics. And one thing we always talk about in relation to Ether Orcs is how well they've balanced that to the point where you're almost always burning more Zug, or at least maintaining the amount of Zug that's in the supply. You don't see steady increases in the Zug supply. It is always being used. It's always being burned. I think milk is going to be the same thing, especially early on. I know Cool Cats, shout out When Milk, have been a little more conservative in their guesses, but I actually think milk is going to get to $2 or $3 initially, as this is the first high-profile utility coin. I know that Banana was in the news last year and all that, but you know, Banana was in the news when Genesis Kongs were 200 ETH, and it was like, unless you were some crazy ass baller, you weren't going to have access to Banana. It wasn't going to become one of these like mainstay, blah, blah, blah. There are a lot of people that are going to have, there's 5,500 people that are going to have milk passively generated, and thousands more that are going to be earning 500 to 700 a day in this game. All right. This is going to be one of the highest volume coins in all of crypto. I think early on, and wherever it settles, I mean, we all know how these things, if it settled between 20 and 50 cents eventually, it would not surprise me at all. But early on, with the amount that's going to be burned as people want to play the game early, I could see this rallying to $2 or $3. And I think that's going to drive the price of pets early. Of course, you know, this is we need the game to be fun to play long term for other reasons than money. But in those initial phases, it's the money that acts as your PR machine. Because when you see the gains in a Wolf game or in a Wizards and Dread, that's what gets everyone to FOMO in. That's what gets everyone to go crazy. And I think that's going to happen here with Milk and Coolpets. So.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons, like, people always go back to Banana and Kongs, and one of the reasons why it was so successful. But, like, you know, the Kongs, the Genesis Kongs were earning the Banana, and then you were using those to create the baby Kongs, and the baby Kongs were highly desirable as an entrance pass into that community. And what it was doing was creating value for the holders to allow other people into the community by selling their Genesis Kongs. The price of that community, the price of the baby Kongs, dictated the value of the bananas, right? There was that kind of symbiotic relationship of why Banana had any kind of value, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Same thing in Kaiju right now.
Right.
Exactly. If you look at the R waste, it equals exactly what making a baby would be.
So whenever these projects are saying we're going to do a token, you got to ask, like, why? What is the value proposition behind this token? Is it just so that you have something and now you can say, I just generated 100,000 of you know, such and such token, or is it going to be used to something? And that's, you know, that's one of the big things. Like, Get Money is saying, like, second and third collections on roadmap is a meta that people are looking for in a project. Yeah, I mean, but you also got to remember, sometimes people are their own worst enemies in what they want, right? They want something because they think it's going to add value to their lives. But if it's not done methodically, if it's not done carefully, what they're doing is just diluting the membership to the club to the point where everybody feels like it's not special anymore, right? Yeah. It's got to be done with careful consideration, proper deployment, and it's got to be kind of from a project that has a long track record of success. Because if it's not, like, it would be a red flag to me if a project dropped, I minted it, and then 3 weeks later, like Prime Ape Planet with Prime Kongs is like, guess what? Another exclusive mint for all our holders. Like, I don't want that shit. I'm okay with buying something that I like and letting it ride for a couple of months. You got to be with that. Like, Bored Apes wasn't worth as much as they were overnight. CryptoPunks were years before they became as valuable as they were. We get so obsessed with this, like, when, now, you guys aren't working. Oh my God, something was delayed for a week. Delayed for a week? That doesn't fucking mean anything. You know? A week is nothing.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And, no, and I just want to answer JRP's question. No, unless you are an expert or using a bot, I would not even attempt the public sale.
I will say this. Sure. Sorry to cut you off. I am under the impression that they went to great lengths to make sure that the contract was not bottable. You have to mint through the website.
Gotcha.
It's going to be a manual gas war, but it is going to be a fucking gas war.
And here's the other thing.
About Coolpets, sorry.
Right. And here's the other thing I'll say is that I expect this contract is, you know, it is as optimized as humanly possible. They've thrown the best talent at it. And if you remember, you know, if you pushed 10,000 Gwei during that time drop, it only charged you like $100 or $200 or something like that. So the thing is, you got to understand what a gas wars are risky. You can lose everything that you push as far as gas, and there's no guarantees. So that's why, while it could be one of those situations where you push, 15,000 Gwei and it only charges you $100 for gas, there's no guarantees. And yeah, so you really want to, unless you are on expert mode, you do not want to attempt this public. It's going to be tough. Yeah, 1900 available.
And look, like there's, like you said, the word risk, right? And that's important. There has to be a risk reward proposition to be slamming gas down. And if you lose, you lose. Make sure you factor that into your calculations when you're thinking whether or not something's worth it. Because a lot of people say, well, if I just, hit 1,500 Gwei, I'm going to get charged this much gas. I'm going to get this NFT that's worth this much, and I'm going to be able to sell it and flip it. You always have to account for the fact that sometimes you end up with nothing and you paid a whole bunch of gas, and that can really hurt. And if you have a couple of failed minting processes like that, all of a sudden you're looking at just, a lot of your liquidity being given basically to the miners with no NFTs in hand, right? So it's a risk reward proposition that I don't think a lot of people always take into account. Whenever there's these high upside returns, and you're talking about making several $1,000s if you're flipping right away for pressing a mint button, there has to be a risk, right? And the risk is kind of built in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see. I would not attempt this public sale unless you are very experienced with gas wars.
Yeah, James is asking, limited funds, do you recommend Raid Party, Heroes, or one Coolpet? I mean, if we're talking like limited funds, like, 2 ETH, 3 ETH, I would probably say neither, to be honest with you.
I'd focus on new mints if you were that low liquid. If you mean that you have 3 ETH spare liquid to use and you don't know what to invest in, say either's a decent bet here. I think Raid Party is at max FUD right now, as far as everybody out there thinking it's dead. There's not a real game. These people are out of their mind. There's a very good real game back there. Again, look, execution is what it comes down to. I'm not saying that things can't happen, but I think that Coolpets is being underestimated as far as how much milk is going to be initially, and Raid Party is being underestimated because of the pervasive FUD due to their delays. So.
Yeah. James, he's saying 3 ETH spare. I mean, I hate saying this, like, not financial advice, because I don't want you to come back and be like, I could have made, this much if I just not listened to you or listened to you. With 3 ETH, like, I wouldn't be touching either of them, to be honest with you. I think that you can build liquidity in much better ways at this point, but that would just be, my personal opinion.
And I agree with you, Rips. Here's the thing with Pixelmon. If you want to get into that now, should we even do Pixelmon now?
Let's bring up Pixelmon. I mean, it was definitely the talk of the day yesterday. I was kind of holding it towards the end of the show.
This was some bullshit, man. Pissed me off. I'll tell you.
Yeah, go for it. Just you start. Go.
Well, we saw a very cool project called Northern Guild. Okay, these were like little 8-bit Vikings that everybody minted. It was a stealth mint, felt very similar to orcs and like the way they minted, the type of art, what they were trying to do, all this type of stuff. Everybody minted, people FOMO'd in. I forgot what they got to after the mint or whatever. And then they announced the game was 9 months away or a year away or something like that. And they crashed and they haven't come back at all. This fucking project did the exact same thing, but they decided to run a Dutch auction at 3E that sold out and then drop the bomb that they're not going to have a game ready in, I don't remember what the exact time was.
Yeah, the initial one was like, the initial statement was like, we're like 16 months away from having a game, but because you guys gave us so much money, we might be able to accelerate that by a quarter or two.
Yeah, and that this is what's absolutely maddening, because had they said this game is not ready, we're 6 months out, we're 1 year out, that Dutch auction isn't selling out anywhere near 3 ETH. I don't even know if it's selling out above 1 ETH. Okay? So this was an obvious ploy to raise as much money as possible while being deceptive. This is absolute shite. These people are scumbags. Period. They know. You don't think they sat there and had this took us 3 seconds to realize what happened. You don't think we sat here, they had this conversation like, oh shit, if we tell them it's not ready, we're not going to rate. Even if they have the best intentions, even if they said to themselves, shit, we need this $70 million or we're not going to be able to build something that ambitious. You don't fucking lie to your investors to get it.
Yeah, and withholding information is a form of lying too, right? Like if you're intentionally not kind of being obvious about how long this is going to take. One of the things that I loved about Cenarius, right? When he went out and just said, hey, look, don't overextend yourself on this. This is, we've got building to do. We've got stuff to do. Like, we're not stopping now, but like, if you're going to overextend yourself on lemons, like, please don't, right? This was 3 ETH, and Dutch auctions are a FOMO tactic, right? You're waiting for those people to kind of start the transactions, and you're sitting there with your finger on the trigger going, maybe I should now, maybe I should now. And then once you see a couple of pending transactions, your mind just like, I got to send now. Well, here's the thing, right? I mean, Pixelmon's doing fine for themselves. They just raised $72 million on a Dutch auction. But anybody that sold or anybody that bought with the idea that these things were instantly going to moon had their dreams shot down, because right after they were like, oh yeah, by the way, 16 months to release a game. Like, you're not going to have much to do in that time. Boom. Everybody starts selling. There were people that were undercutting the Dutch auction floor on the secondary market because they realized that they were fucked. Right. Yep. And, for somebody that, has these dreams of grandeur and, we're in a space where there's incredible amounts of opportunity, and we see people have these huge wins time after time after time. They're raking in money, and sometimes you feel like, I need to participate in that too. I need a home run. I'm going to swing for the fences big. And if you did it on this project, you're in a world of hurt right now, because you've just watched a 66% depression in your investment, and coming out and saying nothing is going to happen in about 9 months. I mean, you're kind of shit out of luck at this point. You ain't selling for the mint price anytime soon. And here we are. I think it's a shame, because I think the project actually looks great. But
this is fabulous.
It's starting to reek of, I think it was Lucas in the Degen Dojo. I mean, he hit the nail on the head. It's starting to reek of the 2017, 2018 ICO phase. Give us as much money as you possibly can, and maybe we'll deliver on a project in the future. We're going to build a decentralized Uber. Give us 10 years. Your shit's not going to be worth anything. But people, including myself at the time, bought into that. This is going to change the world. This is going to be the next big thing. If this could even be worth 20% of what Uber is worth, I'm going to be a fucking billionaire, right? It's that narrative, and people start saying, oh, Pixelmon's beating Pokemon to the punch. Like, I don't know. Maybe they will, but a bunch of people just got wrecked. If you were sitting on 3.5 ETH liquidity and you just spent 3 ETH on this, you're shit out of luck. You either got to take your loss, or you got to, find more liquidity to infuse into the market, because it's certainly not coming back from the Pixelmon team.
And this is such a good fucking point, because yesterday, this was a guarantee. Okay, this was one. You saw how many followers they have, closed Discord, hottest news on the street, whales are into it, all the signs that you would think you would see in a project like this. And none of it, if you are going to put 100% of your liquidity into a quote unquote sure thing, it doesn't matter if it works once, twice, 3 times, this is what's going to happen eventually. And look at what's coming up now is Squiggles, okay? And what really fucking pisses me off with Squiggles is it's not people with 3 ETH that they're tricking, okay? Because 3 ETH is a lot of money. These are people who are selling stuff that they have to try to raise 0.4 to give to these fucking scam artists for a shit project. And you're going to put all your liquidity in it. I don't care if Squiggles works out and it's a cook. Eventually, you're going to run into a Pixelmon. Never devote all your liquidity to a hype project like this. It's ridiculous.
Well, there's a reason why double or nothing is like a tactic that people use to get their money in, because you can flip a coin as many times as you want. You might win 7 times in a row. You're going bust eventually if you are putting 100% on the table over and over again, right?
And yes, JVC. I'm going to look at long lost. I've been seeing them come up in the whale.
I actually have it pulled up.
Good. Yeah, it's been in the whale watchers all night.
And you've mentioned it a couple times, so I appreciate that. Can't always get to every project that's mentioned in the chat, but I do appreciate the conversation that you guys are having, especially off to the side. Who was it? Rips is saying Cyber from Pixelmon is saying lost all his respect after that. He basically went out and said the first 500 minted get something special 10 seconds before the drop, creating FOMO at that 3 ETH price. I mean, yeah, that's shit. You gotta lay it all out on the line ahead of time and just let the market figure it out right before being like, oh, by the way, if you buy this now, like that's cheap, shitty used car salesman tactics, right?
Yeah, Moe, I cannot tell if you're joking right now because we just talked about liquidity. And if you've heard how we've talked about Hape Beast for the last 3 days on this show, I can't tell if you're joking right now. But if you really do own rank 400 and someone will give you more than 7 ETH for it, you go take that right now.
Yeah, if you are new to the show, we have not been overly friendly to Hape Beast, and if it's not to flood anyone's bag, it's how that all went down. Anytime a project deliberately sits on a 8 ETH floor and delays the reveal indefinitely, 17 days they let that thing trade unrevealed, and then the reveal was we've talked about it to death. The reveal was less than stellar, and we are where we are. So if that was me, and yes, I found and I held to this point, and I have a rank 400, I would be trying to take any kind of break-even proposition at this point, unless you can get more for it. Then congrats.
Yeah, I would assume rank 400 can get more than 7 ETH. I mean, they were at 4 or 5 ETH last time I looked. I'm assuming rank 700 can get more than, or rank 400 can get more than 7 ETH. I would say you would want to take that. Forget what we think about Hape Beast. If 70% of your liquidity is in that project, you need to sell immediately.
Yeah, that I think is a great point too. It's not even about the fact that it's Hape. If you have a large portion of your liquidity in a project, sometimes just taking a win is never going to be a bad thing, and then spreading it out.
If you can get more than 7 ETH, take the win. Go sweep a cheap floor to feel good afterwards. I won't even name a floor. Go find a cheap floor of a good project with a good community that is yellow. Yes.
Here's the other thing that I'm looking at too. If I just pull up Hape Beast, the large above floor sales are few and far between. So if you can pull one of those, or you have a wet
was offer. That the 26 one that you saw?
I just went by it here. Yeah,
with the bananas floating around.
Yep.
Yeah, I am so convinced that was the team, but we'll see.
Clone. Yeah, I don't know. Was there some speculation on that? Yeah.
But look. If you could get a crazy amount of ETH for that 400, please go get it. I'm telling you, there's better returns to be had at this point. If you can get 10 ETH for that thing, it's not going to 10x before 10 other projects we can name for you.
Yeah. Again, please just keep in mind that that is what we would be doing. Please don't come back and be like, Hape's a 10 ETH floor now, you guys. It's not about that. Just don't tie up that much of your liquidity into one play.
Announcements are the most dangerous thing in all of NFTs. Sell the news is more applicable in this market than it has ever been in any other market. When Hape announces whatever they announce on the 13th, unless it's that they partnered with Supreme, these are going to zero.
Yeah, I'm curious, as a thought experiment, and free market kind of just said it there. What announcement do you think that they could have, that they could come out with that would move the floor favorably in that period of time? What in your mind? In this, I'm not saying you should ask us or anything, but whenever you're hearing about an announcement, think to yourself, what could they possibly say that will really, really take this thing to the next level? Because if it's we're developing metaverse 3D characters, it ain't gonna move the needle. If it's Artifact, be like, oh, by the way, Nike just bought us, boom, off to the races.
I have said this.
Think what are the odds of something like that happening? What are the odds of Supreme partnering with Hape Beast, a project
instead
that
of
has
Bored Ape Club?
Yeah, and a project that has the ears clipping through the hat, right? I'm just saying. So, in your own mind, when you're weighing out risk reward, think about what are the odds that they're going to come out with an announcement that's really going to be a positive EV thing for this. As Free Market said, sell the news in this market is often more applicable than any other market. So, but again, I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, thank you, Moe. I think you've probably made a very good trade there. Given what I'm seeing, I think you could probably get more than 7 ETH for that. Fabulous trade. I think there is no longevity in this project. So if you were holding for longevity, I think that's a mistake. I have contended the whole time. This floor price is so bizarre to me that the only explanation is they've partnered with Supreme. like that, the only reason these could possibly be this price is because we're going to find out they partnered with it. If we came in 2 days and that was the announcement, I would not be shocked at all. I just talk about, repeatable processes. This is where we're traders. We are mitigating risk, repeatable processes. The amount of times that happens compared to the amount of times it's just some nothing burger announcement that screws you. It's just hey, like I said, if you got a profit on this and it's a good trade, I think there's much better trades out there to be made with that 7 to 10 ETH.
And if you're sitting on 70% liquidity, remember, every time you deploy 70% liquidity, you have to rely on them partnering with Supreme. Right. Like that has to be the play. Every single time that you do that, they have to have some kind of announcement or some kind of partnership or some kind of big card ace up their sleeve that is going to move the needle that much. Right. That, in all honesty, if you're somebody that's sitting on 100 ETH of a liquidity or 200 ETH of liquidity, these are the kind of plays that you can take. You will see people move in thinking that, they'll take the outsized chance that there is an announcement and they'll throw 10 ETH at it because they can afford to lose that. But I mean, if you think to yourself, if this went to 0 right now, how would I feel? Act accordingly. Right.
Yeah.
So that would be my take on it. I also saw somebody before we get into the long loss. I'm so sorry about this fire alarm situation, but somebody was saying that we haven't given much love to PixelPets. That's actually true. With Coolpets, Raid Party, all of that stuff going down, PixelPets kind of got lost in the wind, but I guess they did go through their minting process too, and I completely slipped under my radar. But it's sitting at a
look at these are too. You know which egg I want, right? I want a water egg. I'm in a water mood this year. Oh, look at these. Look at these.
The water tiger. Yeah, these look good. This was they released their little Pixelverse project Pixelverse video, and it looked amazing. Yeah, sorry, bring up the
Coolpet. Bring up the Coolpet egg and then put it next to that Pixelverse egg.
Yes. Nice.
Like, come on. All right. Like, let's come on, cool cats.
Step your egg game up.
Yeah. I mean, the Kaiju egg was legendary. If you guys remember the pre-reveal Kaiju egg, come on, you could have. I don't know.
We need to do a show on the top ranked eggs of the NFT space for the last 12 months.
Love the PixelPets, Cutter. I think R2 and I are both picking one up off secondary after the show here.
Yeah, 0.3 floor. I mean, Sappy Seals was the beneficiary of a great run with the announcement of this. Everybody seemed to be so excited for this, and I don't know if it just. Hi, Bob. Yeah, the alarm's scaring my dog. Everybody seemed to be so excited with this, but again, with Pixelmon going down, Raid Party going down, Coolpets going down. I mean, maybe they just kind of took a back seat. This seems like a pretty decent opportunity. I want to really look into this universe too, because this is a team that has clearly been building while Sappy Seals has just been out there. They've been fostering the community, and all of a sudden they are just kind of back with a vengeance. So you know what, let's make it a point to kind of, bump our heads together today and do a little bit of a deeper dive into Pixelverse, and we'll talk about it tomorrow on the show a little bit deeper. I don't want to just click through a website and just say, oh yeah, this looks cool. Right. But yes, if you have time, we'll do that.
We'll even talk about it tomorrow evening on our P2E spaces.
That's right.
I'll make some time for it.
Yeah, another P2E game, and they have a lot of cool stuff. I have slowly been looking at it. They have you talk about the utility of a token and what you're adding. They have this little metaverse thing going on. You can buy items for it and different things, right? Like those are good sinks of a token. Good uses. So excited about that. Thoughts on CloneX? We have talked about CloneX so much. I don't even know what that floor is right now. We're gonna finish off with oh God, what was the last thing we were going to talk about?
Love CloneX, love Artifact, love Nike. They should have never been doubted. They're still being doubted. That is a blue chip in the making. That is revolutionizing the metaverse. What we understand as NFTs, people don't even remotely understand where that's going. And in relation to the Azuki floor, no, I'm not surprised it's holding 10. I was surprised it got to 17, said it was a short. Sell your Azukis. When it got to 9, I said it was a buy. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon, but I don't expect them to get too much lower. You know, if macro took a big dip and then all NFTs fell, could they get to 6 or 7? Sure. I think they're too loved, too universally owned by. Remember, crypto Twitter is a bunch of anime nerds. I mean, it doesn't speak to me, but it speaks to a lot of these people. So they like this. They identify with it.
Generative Dungeon. Thank you, Cambo. That was the last thing that I kind of had queued up. My tabs are a mess today. This was pretty incredible, actually. I think yesterday it went up to like 1.4 or something like that. It was a 0.1 mint. Very cool project where you have these games that you can actually play right on Opensea. I actually saw some people on Twitter being like, if you can get the high score on my Generative Dungeon, I'll give away this NFT or whatnot. Very, very cool stuff. Also, Cambo, I noticed that you said earlier in the show that Gary V left you bag holding with something. I'm not sure which one you were talking about, but let me know about that. But man, chat is moving a lot faster than it normally does today. 75 people. Thank you so much. Generative Dungeons pumped to like 3 ETH because Gary V bought one. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, as soon as Gary V buys something, it does send a signal to everyone else that they need to be holding it. Gary V is somebody that definitely has a lot of influence on the market still in that regard. I would be very, very cautious of buying late into that rally. Like, if you see Gary V tweeting about something and it was like a minute ago, and you're feeling a little frisky and you want to take some risk, like, you can get in there. If it was like 2 hours into the pump, like you're playing a dangerous game. Like, Gary V has shitloads of money. He doesn't care if he buys something for 0.5 ETH or 1 ETH or 2 ETH and it goes up or down. I mean, he is putting it in his vault and sitting on it indefinitely. Like, again, we talk about liquidity plays and where your situation is versus somebody else, and everybody has a different situation. You can't play the same game that Gary V is playing, and you can't play the same game that somebody with 200 ETH of liquidity is playing. You have to work within your own confines. So I guess, I mean, be careful about that stuff, right? Yeah, I don't know. Free market, do you have any thoughts about Generative Dungeon? FMC.
I love Generative Dungeon.
I think it's awesome. This is so cool.
Yeah, you could play right there in the game, and a lot of whales and important people love it. That's my favorite sign
I'm getting
to buy something. So yeah, I think it's a buy. I think legend maps are one of the most people look at a legend map and they don't understand it. That's your greatest opportunity. Legend maps is going to be a P2E. It is largely owned by Pranksy, who loves to fund gigantic LPs when he has giant bags in the project. To sleep on legend maps is hilarity to me. I saw some dojo members selling theirs yesterday. Oh, thank God we got the pump. I could finally get rid of mine. I cannot
did it move yesterday?
From like 0.13 to 0.2 or so. Otto talks about them. Every time Otto mentions them, they come. But I am so looking forward to the cope. The amounts of copium that will be imbibed upon these blasting through 1 ETH very soon.
Yeah. And hey, look, Cambo's saying should have taken the life-changing money. Anytime that you're staring down the barrel of something that you think is life-changing money, it probably is, and maybe you should take it. And that's just my like personal thought. It's the dilemma that I think a lot of Bored Ape holders, that minted or bought at 0.3 or bought at 3 ETH face every day, right? Like that multifaceted idea of, does this go higher? Can I leave my friends? do I want to do it? So, I mean, ask yourself when you're thinking about that, like, what is the benefit of holding versus taking that money right now? You know, I don't know. It's hard. It's not easy. I'm not saying that like definitively you should, but if you ever feel like something is life-changing money, it probably is.
Yeah. Gary V does like the swamp burst. He does have a lot of those.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes some random shit. Those crypto skulls, man. Whatever they were.
He bought another one the other day.
Yeah, he just keeps loading up on them. I don't know what the fascination with that is.
But, you know, and that's what it is, right? We all grow up with different life experiences, different things appeal to us, and this guy just likes what he likes. What is there?
The skulls.
He likes the alien friends. He doesn't like the lemons. What are we going to do? There's nothing we could do about that.
For any of the AlphaMint Moon Lounge pass holders, the restream link is up in the AM show chat. For anybody that's new here, you know, we run a Discord called AlphaMint. We have a pass up on Opensea, and you know, one of the perks is you get to come up here and chat with us if you want to. And we also take or we're going to start trying to take the show back to Discord a little bit more frequently. We get very busy, but we're working on ways to make that more of a regular occurrence. So if anyone wants to come up, if Cass is listening, I haven't seen him in the chat today.
Cass has the day off today. I already talked to him. He's taking the day off.
Is he? Oh, did you spoke to him?
I spoke to him.
Oh, okay. Everything's good.
Everything.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I mean, if anybody else wants to talk about anything, I'll throw some music on. We'll just chill for, you know, maybe another half an hour and see what happens. Maybe not even that. But Shubs GM, you are late today. Not that
I was gonna say oversleeping. I must have been out partying last night.
You lied to me. Cass is here.
Oh my god.
GM Cass. We've got the DGen hot plate going on. Cass and Josh.
I think it was a social engineering
GM,
attack.
can you hear me? I've got to take.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Little staticky.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Yeah.
Someone DM'd me.
I'm not feeling 100%.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm on my mobile phone, so it might cut out a little bit. I love you too.
I know you're resting today. I didn't think you were going to come up because you had told me you were resting. I already told the whole audience. Cass is taking the day off. He's taking a him day.
I was going to take a day off, but then I was listening to you guys on my PC whilst I'm in bed. And I just had to get on and say hi, really. Although I'm not 100%, but hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
We're great, man. How about you? Well, you're not feeling 100%.
Yeah.
So I guess okay, maybe at best. You got your Star Wolf yesterday, though.
Yeah, damn right. I got my Star Wolf yesterday. Oh my god, loved it. Absolutely loved it.
You were very hyped. It matched your car, you were saying, and it was a clean-looking boy there.
Do you know what? It was mad because obviously I wrapped the
BMW
in a lemon color.
Mm-hmm.
To get a wolf that was unreal. It was unreal. I'm so honored to. I love my baby now. That is literally my little baby.
It's a
I've
beauty,
got to tell this.
It's a beauty. Congrats.
Thank
Josh,
you so much,
on,
Josh.
Oh, no problem, man. I was so excited for you when I saw that. That's just like great stuff. Yeah, good things. And GM,
Thank
everybody,
you.
GM.
Oh, someone's got the Discord notifications going. Joshua, is that you?
Oh, not me, man. I'm on mobile. No notifications here. I'm notification free. I live that life.
Notification free.
No, the notifications was my laptop. So seems like your stream is having. It's because I'm on my mobile phone. Fun. The one thing I was gonna say or talk about really was PixelPets.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. I minted 2. And then I sat down and I sold both of mine. I think at 0.39 to pay for my Coolpet, you know. And the reason because normally I just hodl. I really just hodl something I like, but I don't know with PixelPet. I might be wrong in this, but a lot of the projects that they're associated with, apart from Sappy seals, I weren't really convinced. So I sold mine to get my Coolpet, and I'm probably gonna buy back in if it goes to like 0.2, 0.25, and it's heading down that direction already. So I think that was my play with PixelPet, and I think with PixelPets they put so much. There's so much going on with PixelPets, you know, that I thought, how long will it really take you to implement that? Because I haven't set a date when the game's out, but compared to Coolpets, on the 10th, Milk's going to be ready and the game's going to be ready. So yeah, that was my take on PixelPets. It was it just seemed like they had a lot going on, and to execute that seems a bit tricky for now anyway. Whereas Coolpets just seem like they're ready to go. So
yeah, that's a fancy website. It looks good.
I think that's a great take too. You know, maybe if the PixelPets continues to depress a little bit because there's more of a further outlook on it, maybe there's a way you can kind of do it, right? Like it's Coolpets now, PixelPets later. But I gotta say, if there's one thing that I have been impressed on, is this team has just continued to build and develop and grow their ecosystem throughout this time, right? So a Sappy Seals, that is, a team with that kind of you know, ambition and continued success, I think is probably a pretty good team to be betting on.
I love the Sappy Seals community.
Yeah, they're unreal.
Great community members. My God.
Yeah, no, they're unreal, because it was those members that actually they gave me a whitelist spot. It was a member that said, Cass, like, do you want to get in? And I was like, really? And how are you going to do that? He goes, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just put you on the whitelist. And I was like, wow, okay then. You know, but there were so many parallels with Coolpets and PixelPets. So many comparisons that, I don't know, it just made me feel a bit funny about it. I mean, even like the water, air, grass, and fire eggs, which was the same. Right. You know, even Sappy Seals producing Pixel, which is at 0.14, like 14 cents at the moment, a token.
They actually have a token already? Huh.
Yeah. They've already got a token. They've been Sappy Seals have been making Pixel token, which is currently at 14 cents.
How many do they make a day?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure.
But I know Kaijus make about $25 a day. Orcs make about $32 a day. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, 100%. And yeah, greatest NFT place in the world, greatest NFT community in the world, Star Wolves. Stroke AlphaMint. No, it's true, man. Like, fuck it. Oh, yeah, all day. No, seriously. Like when I kind of look at it, like from an outside perspective, it's I think it's true. Like Star Wolves, the way that they've done it, superb. The way that AlphaMint over the past 4 months, they've just been phenomenal. You know, people talk about great alpha rooms and the rest of it. I'm sorry, we're already in one. And it's true.
So true though. It really is.
Do you know what I mean? Like I hear kaijus and this and that. No, fuck that shit, man. AlphaMint going to the top. Then Star Wars, blue chip. I will keep saying Star Wars will be blue chip. And it's just simply because of the community and the way the community run. Yeah, it's unlike, you know, we talk about Sappy Seals being a great community or Lemons being a great community. No, fuck that. Star Wolves.
I don't disagree with you.
That Discord is amazing, honestly. Like I wish I had more time to like hang out in it on a regular basis because the vibes are good.
Here's another one on a random, just to show that it's being talked about. Star Wars was being talked about in Habibis, right? I kid you not, because with Habibis, they sell their whitelists to their members,
right?
Now, and there was talk in the Alpha Hunters area. How are we going to get Star Wars whitelist? How are we going to get Star Wars whitelist? And I said to them, listen, dude, like you can try, man. These guys don't sell whitelists for people. Yeah,
I don't even know how to get whitelists, to be honest. I don't even know how to get whitelists. I'm lost.
Oh no,
I've known these guys since the BitClout days, man, and I can't even get in there. It's hardcore.
I work for the company and I can't get away.
Well, this is what I was saying to them. I was saying, guys, listen, yeah, you need to graft and learn how to write stories, innit? If you lot can write 100 different stories, yeah, you probably get 100 different whitelists, but you're gonna have to do the stories first. And they were like, but I was like, well, that's the way it is, dude. That's the way you build a community. You don't just fucking sell your whitelist like every other Tom, Dick, and Harry. This is a blue chip fucking NFT. You can't buy whitelist off a blue chip NFT, or else you would have been able to buy whitelist off Coolpets, and guaranteed you weren't able to do that. So
no,
yeah,
they were very strict. So, I know.
So yeah.
Let me ask you guys this, because I know a couple people wanted to talk about it, and I don't know if you've been in on it. I know, Cass, you find a lot of projects and you take a look at a lot of things, and I know Josh loves his degen plays as well. I shouldn't call it a degen play, but have you guys seen the Long Lost that minted a couple days ago?
The Long Lost? No, I haven't.
I know it's crazy. Just sorry to cut you off, Free Market, just because like I mean, there's so much stuff happening on a daily basis. But yeah, go ahead. They look like what? You there?
Hello?
Who? Oh, me?
Yeah,
what was I talking about?
No,
they look like Jack Skellington from Tim Burton.
Yes.
Nightmare Before Christmas. They got Jack Skellington vibes. I like them. I think they're cool art. Mason from Alien Friends gave a grip of them. They look cool. Shout out to anyone who minted these. Great cook too. Looks like they're sitting at comfortable 5x right now.
Yeah, so these went live 0.04 for the pre-sale, 0.05 for the actual public mint. That's a nice little price difference. It's not too aggressive. Sometimes those splits get pretty nasty. If somebody was able to mint for half the price of the public sale and whatnot, it kind of gets a little iffy on how that can go down.
20% tends to be about standard. I've seen with good projects taking care.
Seems very comfortable. They have some nice branding. It's a unique style. I love the comparison to Jack Skellington. I think you're spot on with that. But yeah, shit.
And can I point out something? Can I point out something that JCV is pointing out in the chat? No marketing. Yeah. 6,000 followers on Twitter on mint day, waiting for the public to go. These are the projects you want to look for. Somebody asked about squiggles earlier in the chat. I think if you spend 0.4 on a squiggles, you need your head checked. That is a cash grab. Those guys are scam artists. This is bullshit art that they stole. Okay, I thought it was rushed out art they conceived in 2 weeks. Apparently, it's been stolen. I mean, again, whitelist arbitrage. If you have whitelist, watch the Dutch auction. If the Dutch auction sells out at 1 ETH, you're likely going to have an easy ARB opportunity at 0.4. Don't have Uncle FMC tell you not to make your ETH. Go make your ETH. If you're asking about whether this is a long-term hold, no. This is a scam project, and I'm talking about squiggles. Okay, the squiggles are a scam project, and the only reason to buy that whitelist is if you watch the Dutch auction, which is going to have. Thank God, at the very least, they're doing the Dutch auction before the pre-sale. At least they have half a head, on their body that they're doing this. But you'll be able to see whether it's worth to make. If it sells out at 0.5. don't mint your preset. I'm not sure there's going to be anything left for you by the time you mint and sell. So just watch the Dutch auction if you're looking for that whitelist ARB. I would not get anywhere near that Dutch auction from a public buying standpoint. It's terrible art, and these guys are opportunists, period.
Yeah. JCV is saying, you know, when he messaged it yesterday, it was a 0.08 pre-reveal. Always a great sign to see a project have a post-reveal pump rather than a pre-reveal pump. Like you said, it's not all about the Twitter metrics. It's not all about the Discord metrics. These, you know, they went ahead. They were able to mint out anyways. It's, you know, so many projects trying to just they need big numbers on Twitter. We have to get these numbers up, blah, 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 blah. They went ahead, you know, they had conviction in their art, which I think is really cool. You know, they were sitting there for just above floor price, and we can go back to a couple of other projects that sat just above floor price pre-reveal. Lemon Friends, Coolmans, and Alien Friends. I think we're almost all in that boat.
7,000 people in their Discord when they minted for a 10,000 people. Do you know how many people were like, bro, can this even work? Right? Like, if you're just a marketing business guy and you're like, I have 500 widgets to sell, in your head, you're like, well, I'd better get 1,500 customers lined up because who knows who's actually going to buy and go, you know, you try to pump you want to be way above, you want to have 3 times what your mint is so that you definitely mint out. Those are the projects to look for, okay? If you see good art, a passionate community, and a small Discord, those are your diamonds in the rough, and it looks like some people had it here with long lost because this was not on my radar. These look great. They're in a current cook. They are cooking as we speak, and good on you if you minted these. Ooh, cool 101 there, huh? Yep. What is that, Goku or something?
Yeah, it looks like that kind of style. No, honestly, I would rather have 2,000 people in a Discord that I know all want to be there and are all going to mint, because keep in mind, if you're doing a 10,000 piece project, you're doing 5 max per mint, and you have 2,000 people that all are rabid diehard fans of this project and are going to mint that. Well, you've minted out just on those 2,000 people. I mean, obviously not 100% of them are going to mint or max mint or blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, the point goes to show you don't need 200,000 people in a Discord or on Twitter to mint out a 10,000 PFP project. And the other thing, too, is most of those people are riding that hype train because they want that quick flip. Well, it goes up and it goes down, and then you get left with like a Hape Beast situation. Whereas you look at Alien Friends, that thing skyrocketed to 4 ETH because they had a small group of loyal people that believed in that project. And you know what people who believe in a project don't do? They don't sell. Right? That is locked up in there because you have these people that are starting from a very low buy-in point that believe in the project, and they say, why would I sell? I barely invested any money in this. But then you get these projects that are asking for 0.5 ETH per mint, 1 ETH per mint, and you have all of these people that might have overextended themselves, and they say, I have to get out. I cannot leave this liquidity tied in. I'm going to sell for whatever I can to make sure that I'm not getting absolutely fucked. And that's why you see Pixelmon mint at 3 ETH on a Dutch auction and immediately be sold for 2.8 ETH.
And this is why I'm so much more bullish on something like Little Lemon Friends than Alien Friends. And again, I love both projects, but Little Lemon Friends has just been a slow, organic grind that's bottom left to top right. There's never, they didn't have the insane hype cycle. I mean, they had one Saturday where some influencers bought and it got frothy or whatever, but they've never gone through an insane hype cycle. They don't have professional marketers on staff. It's just a slow, organic build. And that's why I'm so much more bullish on it, because the people in that community don't want to sell their lemons because they want to be part of the lemons. And that's not to say you need a lemon to be part of the community. We welcome all, but look at Bored Apes. The only reason Bored Apes are 100 ETH is because a lot of these guys don't want to lose their friends by selling. Okay, I know that sounds harsh, but in reality, it's like you're no longer in the gated part of the Discord. You no longer get to where it is your PFP. You're going to feel like you're out of the club. Cool Cats are 12 ETH because people don't want to lose their friends. All right, this is a very powerful thing. It takes the most powerful aspects of social networking and combines it with trading.
Yep.
Ooh, baby.
Yep. Well, and that's a great point because, you know, the original reason why Bored Apes got to where they were was because all of those people, you know, maybe you want to call it the anti-punk, all of these people were priced out of that CryptoPunks community. They were looking at this profile picture project and they wanted one of their own, and they, you know, chose Bored Apes to rally around. But that's how that community formed. And you know, any community that is looking like that, because they want their own niche, they want their own, you know, social media platform, like Free Market said, they want to be able to interact with that. You get these gated discords where you have to hold one. The second that you sell it, you're out. You got to say goodbye.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. That's powerful.
Maybe you have a group text message with them, but it's not the same, right? Like,
no,
it just doesn't work that way. So again, think
it'll
about
get even
why
more
people
pronounced.
are holding. Yeah.
It'll get even more pronounced in the metaverse. Just wait. I mean, this is metaverse beta. Just wait until it feel like just wait till you literally are kicked out of the club, like the physical fucking club, because you don't have your NFT, right? I mean, this is not to be underestimated. It's why I think apes are going to $1 million. Period. $1 million floor incoming, everybody.
It's the it's going to be the you know, the Bugatti of NFT communities, right?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be the Maidstone Country Club in the Hamptons of NFT.
You know who?
I think it's an even more apt analogy.
You know who else get together and hang out? Ferrari owners,
right?
Bugatti owners,
people
who own
luxury watches, big group thing. They nerd out over these watches.
100%. 100%. It's powerful. Yeah. So,
Goonies? Do you guys mean goons? Crypto goons? We love the goons. I don't know if you guys are saying Goonies in the chat. I don't know if you meant crypto goons. We love the crypto goons.
No, there's a NFT project called Goonies. Yeah.
Oh, we don't know it, man. We've been throwing a lot of projects at us. Like that long, you know, I think about this. There's so many bad ones, true, but there's also so many good projects that sneak under the radar. I love it. I also want to say,
Long Lost, perfect example.
Yeah, perfect example. And star catchers. This is why I'm so bullish on it. Like, they are purposely keeping their This is the perfect combination of unforced hype and a community trying to stay small. Okay, like if that Discord opened, they'd be at 200,000. That is how desirable and hyped this project is, not by their own doing at all. Just organic. Like, they are keeping the hordes away from the gate to try to create something special. That is so rare. That is so rare.
Sure. And it's legit too, man. I've tried every trick that I have to try to get on that whitelist. Man, everything I can do, I've tried it. It is.
And here's the thing: like,
it's hard.
You're trying to get in there. You're trying to get on the whitelist, but they're not explicitly saying dance for me, right? Like, no. Is that
there's no?
You know, I had this tweet pulled up that I wanted to share, and I was kind of trying to figure out a good time to fit it in, but I think it's very apt to this this conversation, and I'm gonna have to try and find it in my. There it is. You know, this guy just says, "Congrats to all the poor souls who grinded their hearts out. 1 month of grind to level 50 on Discord and gain 0.3 ETH profit." So what, $1,000 loss, mental health, physical health, final bit of hope on these grind to win whitelist projects. This is for Meta Eagle Club. That was a 0.35 mint and is sitting at 0.69, I guess, as of this tweet. But level 50 on Discord, I'm seeing is something like 30,000 messages. What community are you forming when you're making people send 30,000 messages in that Discord?
Dude, I'm not being funny. I'll tell him to fuck off.
Oh, I didn't even have it pulled up. Guys, give me 1 second. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that. And then talking about random projects and random celebrities, have you heard Johnny Depp's mint price for his wonderful art?
Yeah, it was like 0.6 or something.
And I was like, what? Like, wow. Yeah, it was 0.6.
Is it like a 900 supply? What's the supply on this thing?
I'm not even sure, dude. All I know, Johnny Depp has just decided to take on art as we were talking about, he even dressed up for the occasion. And
we do that again. We do best dressed celebrities.
We should do that at the end of the year. But it's another thing, isn't it? It's like he's relying on his status. I don't even think his art is all that, to be fair. But he's relying on his status. No, it's not cool, man. He is cool. I like him.
I thought Shiny released a great thread yesterday. I'll see if I can pull it up and post it in the general chat in the AlphaMint Discord. But he talked about the different types of teams. Anon, pseudonymous, doxed, celebrity, and overhyped. Okay. And he wasn't saying one is better than the other. He gave you the qualities to look for in each team that would make a successful project. It would make a good team. And I loved his point, was that people are sitting here arguing over what is basically a vanity metric of whether somebody is doxed, whether somebody is hype, every model and every situation can work. You just have to look for certain things. And that's why I thought his thread was really great. Shiny is a very, very smart, capable dude. Shout out.
What did I miss?
I was talking about a thread Shiny did yesterday that almost spoke to a lot of stuff we were talking about in regards to doxed teams versus undoxed. But he talked about the different types of teams, anon, doxed, overhyped, etc., and just told you the good qualities to look for. Like if they're a celeb, let me try to pull up the thread so I don't misquote him. But he didn't say that you shouldn't buy a celeb project or you shouldn't buy an anon product. He said, if you are in a project where these are the type of people who are running it, these are the good qualities to look for so you know it's a good project. I really liked how he framed that, because in reality, any type of team can make a really great NFT project. But there are going to be universal qualities in those teams, depending on the type they are, that will help you guide which ones are a buy and hold or not. So I thought that was a great thread based on that.
Yeah, we should make sure you send that a link to me. Maybe we'll go over it on tomorrow's show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow's show. We'll feature. I love that idea. We often talk about red flags to look for, but maybe sometimes we need to look at what are the great things that projects are doing too, right? That are subtle.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Why not? It's also like a reminder that it's not all like black and white in this space. Like I think we're definitely drawn to universal statements in this space because the stakes can be so high. But like when it comes down to it, there are going to be really good, really successful celebrity projects out there. As much as we all hate the celebrity that comes into the NFT space, like it'll eventually happen. It's good to know what to look for.
And listen, he said the celeb project, celebrities have powerful brands, but are they here for a cash grab or are they here to build something that lasts? Look for them to be 1, students, hungry to learn. 2, accessible, connects with the community. 3, enduring, will they stand the test of time? So he's showing you exactly what you should look for if a project is a celebrity project. And we could think back to a few where this was the case and some where it was not.
I like that idea.
There you Ben Baller.
I like that idea of accessibility because it's such a powerful part of the community building in this space, right? But you also have to look at the level of accessibility. I mean, if you're inviting 10,000 people and it's hard to give 10,000 people good access to something, right? That's why I actually thought that the Coachella NFT that was dropping on Solana was actually pretty cool because they were only doing 10 of them. That's a very achievable number. I think it's one of the pitfalls of 888's, promise of changing 8,888 people's lives and giving them generational wealth and all of that stuff, right? That's a lot of fucking people to do that. If he had said 888, hindsight, I think that would have made a lot more sense. And now he's opening it up to more. But that access that, being able to provide for those people, 10 people, totally doable. 100 people, pretty doable. 1,000 people, a little bit more tricky. 10,000 people, it's not gonna fucking happen. You don't have enough hours in the day to give access to that many people other than, you know, standing in front of them all and saying, look at me. You can go to a concert for that, though. You can go to a concert and stand there and be one of 10,000 people. You're not getting any extra access that anybody else is having.
Think about the size of a team you need to manage any 10,000 person event or organization, right? Like any of them in the world. The team you need for something like that is in the hundreds. And if you transition that to this space, yeah.
I would like to differ on that one in terms of events and numbers. There's some people that can handle. Okay, the last time I held a major event, there was a team of 4 of us, and we handled over 5,000 people. Mm-hmm. So it is doable. You know,
it depends on the type of event, you know, what the expectation of being there is. And like to Josh's point, like it does take a lot of manpower to handle that. I mean, the one big thing is that at least with like a metaverse concept is that you're not as worried about physical security, right? I mean, your processes and programming and whatnot can handle the door, I would think. But yeah, I mean, it's a great point on both ends.
And I was going to say another thing as well in terms of celebrities. The majority of celebrities who do enter into the space, it's not really the majority, not all of them. It seems like it's their team that's bringing them into the space, not necessarily them. Not all, but the majority, I would say. And my honest belief is that celebrities are all going to change. In this space. So I can see in the next year, let's say, that FMC and yourself, R2 and FMC, will be celebs within the space, you know, as the space grows. No, I'm being honest, because it's the information and the knowledge and the growth, because, I mean, we've seen it from 4 months, within 4 months, how far you guys have gone. Yeah, and the space is only what, 250,000, let's say 1 million people at tops. So as the further that this metaverse play grows, I think there's going to be new celebrities, there's going to be new people in the space that are going to take over these conventional celebrities.
I think there's definitely going to be a Venn diagram where it's not going to be traditional celebrity is instant celebrity in Web3. Absolutely. There's going to be some that get it, right? Like, I'm not sure what kind of celebrity you want to call him, but Keith Grossman's a great example of somebody, you know, from a traditional market that really gets this market and is doing the, you know, good things to integrate himself into it. But yeah, there's going to be ones that, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say even like Snoop.
Yeah, great example.
Yeah, you know, Snoop is really kind of, he believes in the concept, and he's in the concept, you know, but there's not going to be many like him, I don't think, because they don't understand it. I think
is a good example of it. I see people talking about Johnny Depp. I don't know that that's a good example of it. I don't have a track record with it.
We love the Paris Hilton.
Boy. Yeah, Paris Hilton.
Boy, do we love definitely. The Paris Hilton.
You said that with such conviction.
No,
how much do you love
deep emotion?
I ooh her.
Hey, look, I mean, she's done an incredible job to maintain her celebrity, and you know, maybe some of the I'm air quoting reality TV shows that she was on. You're still portraying a character, and you know, a certain element of surrealism. I don't know, whatever. You know, she's a smart person. She's built her own brand, and yeah, maybe, you know, had a bit of a head start being the heiress to a hotel chain and whatnot. But I mean, it's pretty hard to discount what she's done since then, because it wasn't a flash in the pan celebrity like a lot of those people were in the late 90s and early 2000s.
I agree. I totally agree.
True. Hey guys, random topic I'm going to throw in here. I've been thinking a little bit about milk with the Coolpets release. Mm-hmm. Just the concept of these NFTs that kind of have this potential to have some kind of consistent earnings behind them. I think that's like one of the big factors when we talk about people using a lot of their liquidity to go in on one thing. Of course, not financial advice, yada, yada, yada. But like, I do think if you're the kind of person that you know yourself well enough to know you're going to buy and hold something and you're going to get stuck in it, looking at things that have some of that, have Zug tied to them or have whatever Evo Snails has tied to them or whatever all these other projects have tied to them is probably not a bad idea, because then at least you're going to be able to extract a little bit of liquidity from it as you're holding, assuming you're
Evo
not
Snails,
holding all
there's
the
a
currency.
name I haven't heard in a while.
This is why I said don't underestimate people with cool cats wanting to sell one, at least of their cool pets. It's the way to get money out of your cool cat without having to sell it. This is how you yield on your instrument without having to get rid of it. I'm in complete agreement with you. Do you know gem.xyz there? Josh?
Gem.xyz, yeah.
Sorry, I was
All
muted.
right.
Yeah, I do not know.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, so gem.xyz allows you to purchase, and it's an NFT market aggregator. It aggregates all the NFTs from across markets. It has a sweeping function, just like Genie, but you are allowed to pay in utility tokens. You can buy NFTs in Zug. You can buy NFTs in Bananas. You can buy NFTs coming up very soon. And yeah. And
well, funny you should. I was going to say funny you should say that, and the conversation in itself, because when I did what I did, and it's ironic that you guys are talking about it. I actually sold Zug to purchase my Star Wolves.
Amazing.
That's
great.
That. Yeah.
How amazing is
because and because in my head I was thinking to myself, okay, you collect Zug to make bone shards to mint an orc, which is another NFT, let's just say, but why can I not use the Zug, which I've yielded passively, right? And purchase another NFT that I want. And yeah, I don't have to, put money into Coinbase or anything like that.
Right.
And it's such a good point. And
think about
I can see
we're yielding from a lot of different instruments, whether it's looks, we were yielding WETH from it, whether it's these utility tokens, we yield from our NFTs. Sure, they all want you to put it back into their protocol, but if there's a better return out there to be had, that's what's great about these things. They can basically be used to buy anything. And I think that's going to be even more seamless as time comes. I envision you being able to buy things off Amazon with Zug. Picture this, my friend. Being able to buy something from a store with Zug. I don't think it's far away. In fact, I think Lucas's gallery and store in Germany is going to accept Zug. I would bet it.
I would hope so. Guys, I am going to have to jet in a minute, but I appreciate you both coming up here. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we wrap this up?
Just want to say I got a new cappuccino maker over here, and I just successfully made microfoam, and I'm really proud of myself.
Sick.
Josh, I gotta say too, you were like talking about cooking on the Lemon Spaces like last week or something too. You were making breakfast, like some hash brown pastry egg thing.
I go hard for breakfast, man. I go hard.
Hell yeah.
I need that recipe.
See, Drip understands.
You got it.
Drip with the congrats.
That's
the
your next
NFT.
NFT.
Like, whoa, you make microfoam.
Josh's next NFT project is a NFT cookbook.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, just pictures
That would
of
be
the food
so sick.
with
I'm very bullish
unlockable
on
text.
coffee-based NFT projects. Very bullish.
I've been waiting for a good coffee NFT project, man.
Coolman
Breakfast
Coffee
World.
Jam.
Breakfast World. Breakfast World.
Oh yeah, solid. I did like
Go to
Breakfast
that
World.
website. Let me see what it is. I know. Where's that website? Breakfast. Let me spell it weird. Who removes the goddamn vowels from their name? That's just confusing. Then nobody knows how to spell it. That's a joke because I removed the vowels from my name. But thanks for anyone up here calling that. I set you all up. This is it's a thing. I set you up, you knock them down.
So R2, we're locking you in, man. I know you got to get to your day, but it's not happening.
Oh, please. Drag it out.
Well, you guys can stay on here. I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. You can't. All right, guys. I'm gonna boot you off the stage, and we're gonna wrap this up. But I appreciate you as always. It's always good to hear from you.
All right, cheers, guys. GM.
Cheers.
GM.
I agree, JRP. I agree.
What does he say?
He's saying the only thing better is the wake and bake to start the day.
You know what? We'll do a show, and I'll have an edible before, and you guys can just stare at the screen and just mumble for a while. It'll be a lot of fun.
I like it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. Guys, you know what? A lot of people from Catbrick showed up. Thank you for joining the stream and hanging out with us. If any of you are still here, please, I want to talk to Nick and figure out what's going on with that project. I had written it off. This isn't something that I had my pitchforks out and was seeking a refund for. You know, you win some, you lose some. Asymmetric upside comes with a lot of risk. I get it, but some very cool vibes going down in Catbricks, and I don't know, maybe it's a thing. So I would love to learn about the future of that. So maybe tell Nick to shoot me a message on Twitter. Free market. Anything else you want to touch on before we wrap this show up?
The creator of Twitch, Justin Kahn, tweeted out, "Yeah, I built Twitch. It has millions of users, and gaming NFTs are way bigger." So he tweeted that out early this morning at 12:39 a.m. I'll also point out that two prominent crypto Twitter people bought just insane amounts of looks, 6 figures of looks, saying that down here it is a super bullish, obvious play.
Yeah, I saw some looks fun yesterday. Oh, yeah. Drip Cult has news?
Yeah. That was it. I just said it all.
Oh,
I said, thank you, Drip Cult, for that news.
Gotcha. Sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were saying Drip Cult was coming up for some news.
No.
My bad. We got an interview with at 3:00, I think, right?
Yes, we do, with the Fat Choice. So fun. Looking forward to this project. This is a project that launched around the Lunar New Year. It certainly is a very cute project. They lean into the chubbiness. The art is so fun. We are going to be talking to the creator of that project at 3 p.m. today, so please tune in.
Yeah, we were talking about things that maybe fell under the radar. This could be one of them. I'm excited to at least get to learn a little bit about the project and see what they have in store because, like you said, the art is pretty good. I enjoyed it when you showed it to me. So I'm excited for that. 3 p.m. Eastern. We will tweet out the details to that, no doubt. Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in. Another great show. I apologize about the fire alarm going off in the background. I guess it happens once a quarter or something. It's legal law. I don't know. It's not always at 9 a.m, but I appreciate everyone sticking through it. I'm sure it was annoying as fuck. But yeah, here we are at the end of the show. We had some great conversations about Raid Party, Coolpets, PixelPets. The Long Lost came up. Great looking project that kind of slipped under the radar. Tons of good stuff. It's all recorded. It's going to be up on YouTube. It's going to be up on Spotify if you want to listen to it while you're driving or walking, whatever. It's all good. So yeah, free market. Get us out of here.
Good luck at the tables, D-Gen.